Hi everyone, it's Sunday the 24th of February, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. Starting with Europe this week, our editor Andrea Guolo was busy at Lineapelle. He said the fair saw good attendance and the stands were busy, however that didn't necessarily translate into good news for the market. European bulls are under pressure and there are declines on a number of origins. On the flip side, cows are steady, and in a couple of cases, they made some gains. But this is all with one big caveat in that it only applies to quality cow hides, not the lower grades. In his analysis, Andrea dissects the price changes and all the factors behind them, along with a more detailed breakdown of what's going on in the cow market. He also has a section discussing small skins that is of good interest. Turning to the United States, the week ended up being quieter than many anticipated, although bidding did pick up at the end of the week. At least one packer said the week's production was cleared, but others didn't have that many sales. While offers are still generally at steady prices, some selections did edge downward this week. With regard to Texas, trading in regular weights is still thin because of the volume of heavier weights that are available. Trades this week ranged from $33 on a smaller volume to $29 for a larger volume on seasonal weights. This week's export sales report was the last one catching up from the period that covered the U.S. government shutdown, and consequently it was a summary report for 6 weeks. The total of combined sales was $3,174,700, which averages out to a decent number weekly. Given that sales were likely pretty low during the Lunar New Year period, it supports the reports of very good sales in the run-up to the holiday. In our market observations this week, we take a look at the price situation and what might happen around APLF, which is really just a couple of weeks away. Turning to Latin America, editor Ronald Guiel says that prices were again stable this week, both for rawhides and wet blue. There are some types of material that are seeing an increase, which is interesting, so you'll want to read the report for that. In other Brazilian news, the industry organization Asintecal says that 2019 is creating positive expectations for indicators in the footwear and leather market because estimates are showing a little bit of growth. We also have a cattle market report from Brazil and news about a large footwear company that achieved sustainability certification. From Colombia, we have news about some footwear brands in the children's market and reports of drought problems in some regions. In Paraguay, cattle that were slaughtered in January were heavier, and Uruguay saw its leather exports decrease last month. So that's all we have for this week, and until next week, good night from HideNet.